Hello, it's me, Geogen, and welcome to World of Warships. Patch 0.31 has suddenly come out of nowhere and has added a bunch of new things into the game, which I will be discussing now. I have only just loaded the game, so I don't have any of the new ships, but there are quite a few. Specifically, there are the American battleship class, and they come from tier 3 all the way up to tier 10. Starting with the South Carolina, which is the Kawachi's counterpart, I suppose, the American counterpart. Followed by the Wyoming at tier 4. Both of which are armed with 305 guns. And the Wyoming has 6 turrets at tier 4, which is double that of the Myogi class, which is the Japanese tier 4 battleship. We move on to tier 5 and the New York class. This has 356 batteries in 5 turrets, 2 guns in each. It doesn't look as nice as the Congo though. I mean, that's just an aesthetic thing. I haven't looked at the in-depth stats yet. When I get these ships as they come and go, I'll do individual statistics on each ship. This is just an overview at the moment. Moving on to tier 6, the New Mexico. One of 3 tier 6 battleships in the game now. So we have the Fuso, which is Japanese, the premium British Warspite, and the New Mexico, which I notice has triple mounted 356 batteries in 4 turrets. So that's interesting. We move on to the Colorado at tier 7, which has 406 guns, which, if I am not mistaken, are similar to the Nagato. They are just slightly smaller than the Nagato. If we go back to the Americans, the North Carolina at tier 8. Again with triple mounted 406 guns and 3 turrets. And this looks quite modern compared to the others. And then the tier 9 Iowa. Again with triple mounted 406 batteries and 3 turrets. I think the last 3 ships, the North Carolina, the Iowa, and the Montana, look very similar, and here is the Montana. Firing battery range, I've just noticed, of 23.6 kilometers. I'm not sure how that fares against the Yamato. Let me just quickly check this. Japan, and the Yamato has a range of 26.6. So the Yamato still has a better firing range, but the Montana is not that far behind. Now, the Japanese also have got some new additions, and the biggest of which are these 5 aircraft carriers. The Hosho, and forgive me for butchering these names, the Hosho, Zoho at tier 5, the Rujo at tier 6, the tier 7 Hairu, and finally the tier 8 Shokaku. Now, I'm not really a big fan of aircraft carrier gameplay, but it's nice to see some variation from the normal Langleys and Independence classes that you had in patch 0.0 and before. Speaking of aircraft carriers, I almost forgot to mention that there is a new aircraft carrier here called the Bogue class aircraft carrier, and that replaced the Independence, which was at tier 5, and now this Bogue is at tier 5. And there it is. It's quite a small looking aircraft carrier, very tall. Again, I'm not an expert on them, so there it is. Back to the tech tree and the Japanese. The Japanese had some gaps in their tech tree, and one of which is a battleship called the Izumo, There was no tier 9 battleship before. Before you had the Amagi at tier 8, and it went straight to the Yamato. But now there is a Izumo at tier 9. If it loads. Armed with 410mm and triple mounts. Very strange looking... it's quite a strange looking ship at the back. I guess that's where they keep all the planes and such on these tracks. Okay. And then secondary turrets back here. 155. Interesting. So it has its main armaments to the front of the ship. Okay. Anyway. There's also two new, from what I can see, actually 3 new cruisers. The first is at tier 3, and that is the Tenru class. And it looks quite like a downscaled Kuma class, and I didn't really enjoy the Kuma class that well because it didn't have a great amount of armor. I mean, it was quite fast, it had quite good guns, but there are less on here. But then again, it's at tier 3. However, would you rather be in this, or would you rather be in a St. Louis class? I think I'd rather be in a St. Louis class with all of these weapons. And that's only in its 1906 mod configuration. Anyway, back to the Japanese. The tier 5 slot has a ship called the Furutaka, and this has 200mm guns, 3 in the front singly mounted and 3 in the rear singly mounted. None towards the middle of the ship, however. It also has secondary 80mm. I'm not sure if that's an error. 80mm or 76.2mm. That might just be a placeholder. Anyway, that could be an interesting ship to play. So I will be probably picking that up. It also has a recon plane, mounted quite awkwardly. Now. And then the Obora is still here at tier 6. As is the... Oh wait, they've switched. The Mogami and the Miyoko. The Miyoko used to be tier 8, and the Mogami used to be tier 7. Okay. The Ibuku class is still here, and the Zeo class, Zeo class? I think that has replaced something. Or... I don't remember seeing this ship before. But anyway, there's the tier 10, Zeo class, with 203 triple mounts. And torpedoes, because that's one of the things the Japanese carry in their cruisers are torpedoes. Now, that's the biggest set of changes, I believe. Some superficial changes are the hangar has changed. It looks quite... the port has changed, sorry. And it has this new sort of dock area. I'm not sure where that blimp is gone. I think they've improved the graphics of this mountain. But anyway, these are superficial changes. The last big change I've noticed is up here. It says 7 instead of 6, and when I first loaded the game, it came up with signals. Now, when you first start, you have to play tier 1. You are tier 1, and you have to play co-op battles to learn the game mechanics and play against AI, which is fine. Then you have random battles at tier 2, and you get a credit bonus for reaching this. Daily missions come at tier 3, and these are the ones where you can get experience and credits for doing certain objectives whilst playing the game. Tier 4 is free experience, a concept that most of you will know if you play World of Tanks, or dare I say it, World of Warplanes. Even forgot the name of it. And then the ship commanders come in at tier 5, where you can have basically crew skill, but it's just for the commander. So this includes like quicker reload times, quicker turn time of the turrets, and such. Also 6th Sense, but it's not called that in this. Tier 6 comes to upgrades, where you get physical equipment, basically, that you could put on the ship. Usually this improves its fire rate or its turn time of the main turret, as is indicated by this picture, or suggested. Now, the new one is Tier 7, and this is called Signals. Mount signals on the ship to enhance her performance or increase the amount of credits and experience earned in the battle. Receive signals as an reward for your battle achievements or buy them for in-game currency. These are consumable items and are spent in one battle. You can auto-resupply them to put them back on the ship before the next battle. Signals can be mounted on any ship, and you go to the exterior screen to do this. Also, once you reach this tier, you get a premium day. Let's go to the exterior screen. Also, before we do, Tier 8 is unavailable. There is also Tier 9 and 10, and 11, and 12. All the way up to 20. That I didn't expect. Anyway, exterior screen for the signals. You have a total of 10 signals, and they do several different things. Let's look at this one, the Juliet Charlie. There is no danger of explosion, minus 100% chance for magazine detonation. So, when you get hit, it means your citadel will not be... let's say if your citadel was hit, you will not have an ammo detonation and you won't lose a horrendous amount of health. However, you receive this by getting the achievement detonation, which I assume is a method of... is a reward for doing what I just said, blowing up somebody's ammunition supplies. India Delta, 20% combat recovery time, whilst on battleship classes. And you get this for Dreadnought, so... I'm not sure where this is, I will try and find it. Eagle Speed Charlie London, the well-known signal of the Royal Navy, plus 50% experience. That's good. And Confederate, that's an achievement I recognise from World of Tanks, and that is where you allow your teammates to kill other vehicles, or ships in this case, with your assistance. Sarah Mike, double strike. Kill 2 ships, I assume. Plus 5% speed, that's quite good. Mike Yankee Sussex. Plus 5% secondary batteries, minus secondary battery reloading. Oh, that's pretty good for battleship classes. Zulu, 20% credits in the first battle. India Yankee. Hotel Yankee. Juliet Yankee Bisotto. India Bravo Tetra 3. Minus 5% ship cost repairs. 20% recovery time. Excellent for battleships. 20% damage received when ramming enemies. 50% damage caused when ramming enemies. That's amazing. I can't help but feel most of these improve battleships. This one, it certainly does. This one improves destroyers and cruisers, I believe, but most of these are for the battleship's sake. Now, is there achievements? Yes. Here we go. Arsonist, Clear Sky. Once per battle. Several times per battle. So yeah, here are the achievements by type, by name. Cool. I've not earned any achievements yet. I believe these have been added in. Additional award is given once every 24-hour period. Cool. Anyway, guys. This has been a brief overview. Well, it's not been that brief. It's probably about 15 minutes. Of what's in patch 0.31. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Geogen. This has been World of Warships. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.